Hello farmers, welcome back to Green Mountain Forest, or maybe White Mountain Forest. Do I need to tell you it's the first day of winter? Probably not, you can kind of see that for yourself. And it's a little chilly this morning, 20 degrees out, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and the ground temperature is 28 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's frozen. So I did think about, someone made a comment, don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, but I've already recorded those episodes. And they said I should put a cover crop in my fields so I can get some fertilization down. And I thought, you know what, that is a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that. The problem was when I logged in, and it was, when I saw that comment, we were already actually in the afternoon hours of the last day of fall. So I said, well, can I plant oilseed radish in this field and get away with it? So I went into seasons and said, yes, I can plant up to the first day of winter. The problem was the ground temperature was already way too cold. I mean, way too... Oilseed radish, I think, requires 41, 43. Our ground temperature was 36, so I could not do it. The other hard thing that I thought of is I really had no place to get seed. So the store does not sell seed, fertilizer, any of that stuff. That's what Elaine is going to be doing. So the store has no access to seed, fertilizer, any of that kind of stuff. So they could have probably leased me a fertilizer. I mean, not a fertilizer, but a seed roll. But I have no seed. So there is that. So I just found out that this old sheep pasture probably does not have a season's mask on it. Am I losing any hay? No, I'm not. What about straw? I'm stuck on the post. Straw. Not losing anything there. I mean, that I don't mind too much. But what that does tell me is any trailers I put in there is going to gather snow. And I assume, yeah, this is not seasons ready either, that shed. Yeah, so I need a shed that's like seasons ready. So when I put a trailer in there, yeah, is there snow in this thing? I don't think that doesn't accept snow, so I don't think snow can go in there. Anyways, I did check on the animals this morning. They really don't need nothing. But since we're here, I will make sure. Okay, that's the cows. And that's the sheep. So they should all have full tubs of water. Yep, it's not frozen. They do have hay and grass in there, which is good. So the first night for our cows, how do they do? Not too bad. Looks like they have some, I would say that's the silage that's coming out from their feed trough. That's fine, but they got water. And this does not have a season's mask on it either. It happens. But I like the looks of it. So it's fine, and it doesn't really matter too much. I wonder if they're still going to be getting grass from here. I don't know. So we do have our 8 cows. The one thing I did not check when I got the cows, I didn't come in here to see their health, but they really don't have health. Like, if you go into sheep, oh, there it is. The health is on. Okay, the health is way over here. 96%. That is pretty good for our sheep. And it says 0.2 years. So we're going to have 4 more sheep here before spring comes around. Okay, here we go. As for the cows, yeah, 78% health. Wait, you're expecting a newborn already? Newborn. Oh, no, that's their age, newborn. All right. I'm like, I didn't know they're males. I was like, oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, boy, it's going to be a long episode recording anyways, I think. Yeah, so the newborn... the Holstein, next animal in, not fertile. Yep, and these males cannot get pregnant, but then again, why should they? Not fertile. So they are considered young, newborn. That is all good. As far as I know, I think they said the cows can live to be 10, max age. So these cows here, even though it's newborn, I don't know what the max weight should be when I sell them back to the meat market. That's kind of interesting. But that's here nor there. And that's where we're staying. Alright, so that's where the animals look good. I'm not worried about the messes at all. So with the winter here, what does that allow us to do? Logging. We got plenty of logging to do. But I should also mention that the electrical company came yesterday afternoon and put up light posts. I don't want to say everywhere. So now we have light posts. Or street lamps, if you will. Remember we had them coming to the corner before and going to Elaine's house? Well, now the lights are going from Elaine's house all the way up to the cell phone tower. So the cell phone tower now has proper power. There is now street lamps from the sawmill, from that solar power plant, all the way down to the scrapyard and our carton factory. I also did take out, yesterday when they were doing that, I took out another row of trees here. Probably that one should go to make it a little bit more even. But Elaine was here yesterday. She's kind of moving in. She doesn't have her car here yet or anything. But she said that they're foregoing the huge tanks that they have. And they're going with the Alien Gym little sheds. So she's going to have 2 little sheds here. She said if business really picks up, then she'll go with the big tankers. But right now she's going with the little sheds. So that gives her plenty more room. And that is plenty of room for what we need to do. So as you can see, also what I did this afternoon is I took the tree stump grinder and I went all the way down this quote-unquote road and made sure all the tree stumps were gone because there was snow in the forecast. So I wanted to make sure that I got rid of all the tree stumps that I could. In case the snow got too deep, I did not want the tree stumps to be hitting the ground and me running into them constantly. But as you can see, I'm not going to run all the way up, but we got street lamps going all the way up to the cell phone tower. Up to our field. Next season, probably when the road gets put in, we'll be putting in a gate down here at the beginning of the road. So no public transportation can come up here. You're going to need a key or whatnot to come up to the cell phone tower for service, or just me for our field. So yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to the field plowed or anything like this. Manure heap is full. It's going to say that because there's snow there. But that could be for the cows or the sheep, honestly. So next spring, hopefully we'll have a shed here, or maybe we can possibly put it down during the winter months with nothing else going on. So we got 6 days of winter. And my only goal right now for the 6 days of winter is to get this road from here all the way around down to the sawmill cleared. So when spring comes, they can go ahead and put the gravel down or whatever it is that they're putting here. And we can have a nice roundabout because there is one store that wants to come in right away. And I'm thankful for that. But that'll be in the springtime. And but if we do well logging and we get enough cash, then we might be buying more land and I can start bringing a road down to the peninsula. So that is something that we can do. Turn on the HUD display so I can see when I have a tree in sight in my cutter. So the road is, I don't want to say it's wide as it needs to be here, but it's wide enough. So as we're going to go down quite a ways, I think, before we get to where we need to. I mean, it'll be pretty obvious. You'll probably see at the same time I will. It's like, okay, right there is where we need to widen the road. So what I'm going to try to do is not, I'm going to hopefully don't cut. Now's the time. I really don't want to cut the stumps too close to the ground because I won't be able to see them and they'll be there all the way until spring. But really, if they're that low, then it's not going to bother us too much because they're low enough to the ground, then the Volvo truck should not hit them. Should not be much of a problem for the trailer as well. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how we're going to go along with winter here. You know, we may blitz through it, kind of like I did in Hazard County just a little while ago. But like I said, if the money comes in really good, then maybe we'll buy the other land going down to the peninsula. And maybe I'll start, you know, I don't want to say digging in a road or making a road down that way. That land is not as expensive as this one was. Actually, you know what? I should look at it because the money is actually coming in kind of nicely. If that's a word, kind of nicely. So, yeah, the road right now, I don't know. We're actually probably right in dead center of the screen, almost right up to here. But as you can see, I need how much is this land? $250,000. So that's not too bad. That'll get us down to the beachfront. And actually, I don't have to buy this land up here. Is not that cheap. It's not that expensive at $170,000. But we can buy this land here, and it kind of gets. I can make a road go all the way down here, and put homes all in the front peninsula, whatever. Yeah, but you know, it's something I got to plan ahead for. And also, oh yeah, before we go any further, manure heaps full. That's going to keep coming up every 15 minutes, won't it? What I want to do is economy page. So we've been paying off our loan quite a bit. So yeah, just a few days ago, our loan payment was $7,080. We got it down to $4,806. Our loan is down to $750,000. So I could either, depending on my feelings about how things are going, is we could pay off the loan, which always sounds good, and not have a loan, or I can buy more land as I get the cash. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I think we'll see how it goes, how we sell some wood. Oh yeah, the other thing I did was, when I cut those trees down at Elaine's, I think this road is wide enough here for now. So I want to progress quite a bit today with the road. But at Elaine's, when I took down those trees yesterday afternoon, I brought those down to the wood chipper. And we are making wood chips because the carton factory was getting low on wood chips. But when I went around with the stump grinder, and I had some wood chips in the stump grinder, I made a trip on down to the carton factory and emptied out the wood chipper, not the wood chipper, but the stump grinder. I had like 20,000 liters of wood chips in there, so that I'm pretty sure I kept the factory running all night. And as far as I know, I did not get no messages saying carton factory is full of whatever. So as far as I know, it's still running. So we'll get some cash from that now and then. No, I know I cut you. There we go. So I think for the first day of winter, yeah, we're just going to take this tree harvester and just start making this road wider. I don't know if I'm going to sell any logs today. I don't know if I want to do any wood chips. We're just going to gradually go along here and try to pile up the logs as best as I can. So things are going rather well, I do believe. So it looks like at the beginning of next year we'll have 2 fields. I'm just trying to see if those logs are going to roll down all the way. If they do, they do. I suppose not much I can do about it. Yeah, so we got 2 fields at the beginning of next year. The grass in front of the shed, I want to leave that there so I can make hay whenever. But I mean, and really in hindsight, is it that bad to have to go to Dwayne's barn and buy some hay bales? Not really, and the amount of hay bales I actually got, as long as they don't deteriorate too much underneath that non-covered non-season snow mass shed that we got there, as long as they don't deteriorate too much, then I think we're fine for the cows and the sheep. So right now I can see the snow stumps. I'm thinking of snow. So I think we looked at the forecast before, but now that a day's passed and we can get a more accurate forecast for the rest of winter, maybe. So today, no snow. Saturday's the 2nd day. Sunday's the 3rd. Monday's the 4th. Tuesday's the 5th. So the last 2 days of winter, there is a hint of possibly some snow. 70% chance and 60% chance. So really, for the first 4 days of winter, I think the snow that we have is the snow we're going to have. I did not look at the temperatures, but I do not expect the temperatures to go up for this map, not the map, but the geo that we have. I do not expect the temperatures to go above freezing and the snow to just to melt. Sorry, I was concentrating that one tree. For some reason, I couldn't get the trigger there. Yeah, because I am running the South of Quebec geo mod, and that's pretty much right where Vermont is. South of Quebec. And right now, I probably, where I live, I think we got some snow over the weekend here, and it's been a mild winter here, and not too bad snow-wise, but I do have about 8 to 10 inches outside. To me, that's not bad at all. 8 to 10 inches is like, oh, okay. Do I even want to bother shoveling the driveway? No, not really. Not really. It's good. Yeah, so if we pile up enough logs and start selling enough stuff through the winter, maybe I'd rather just pay off some of the loan because we'll have some expenses next year. But the good news is people will be moving in. I got some businesses coming in. We'll get paid by doing that as well. So maybe, like I said, just take the logs that we're cutting here, sell these. We'll be selling stuff down at the carton factory as well. And yeah, slowly pay off the loan. But I mean, the loan interest, I mean, $5,000 a day, that's not bad at all. I mean, we are making some decent money on this farm, if you want to call it a farm. I mean, we got cows and sheep now. We got a field. We have another place for a field to go. It's starting to become a farm, for sure. Not just a tree farm. Don't get stuck on the tree harvester. But we will have some landscaping to do when it comes time to put the road in on the first, well, sometimes the first day of spring. Depending on how much snow we get the last 2 days of winter, we might have a lot of snow in it. And it might not be gone by the first day of spring. I mean, we saw the last day of fall was rather cold. But that was a good idea to put some cover crops in the only field that we had. The only problem is I never really think about that. Cover crops and just putting it on in. Actually, this road is rather wide up here. I may not have too much work to do up to the corner. And I think I might be at the corner. We are at the corner. We are at the intersection. Alright, so we'll start working on down towards the sawmill, I suppose. But this area does need to be widened quite a bit. So when I read that comment, I'm like, well, all right, I'm in the last day of fall. I can put cover crop in. I could have, if I had a place to get seed, or if the ground was not so cold. And boy, did I leave that tree stump just a little bit too high. So it kind of looks like the way I'm making progress on this quote-unquote road here, I think we'll have it all set for spring. As long as the forecast doesn't change and no snow comes in until the 5th day of winter. But actually when I went to bed last night, it was, the rest of the afternoon it was going back and forth between rain, snow. And when I went to bed, it was like raining and no snow on the ground. And then, of course, you wake up and it's like, oh, okay. This amount of snow does not bother me because it's like one layer. I don't even know if this is actually one layer of snow. I mean, yes, it is a layer of snow, but I don't think it's a full layer of snow. And I do believe... Hang on a second. I'm going to go back into my settings here. Do I have multiple layers? Snow mode on. Season length, 6 days season. I don't need season introductions on there. Crop moisture, snow tracks, snow mode. I thought there was one for layers. Snow mode on, snow mode off. One layer only. Oh, so yeah, one layer only. No, snow mode on. Snow will fall in cold winters and block. Yeah, we know that. Actually, we had no roads when we logged into the map. So there should be no snow mask on our roads, as you saw. And that's something I probably should take care of as well. But the snow's not deep enough. I mean, these are my roads to maintain. So unless I get any complaints, besides the manure being heap is full, unless I get any complaints about the road right now, I'm not going to worry too much about the little bit amount of snow on the ground. And the one thing I will not do is I will not spread salt on the road either. I do not want salt run off on the roads. Getting salt into the ground, not good for crops. Really isn't. So I don't want to put salt down anywhere. And so I'm thinking with the amount of trees I want to be cutting down, I may get like $150,000 to $200,000 worth. And with the carton or the pallets that we sell at the carton factory, probably get, well, I don't know how much of the winter, but I think we can pay off enough of the loan, get the loan down to at least $500,000. Now I've been looking at seed rolls. The harvester that we're getting, that will be paid by the three brothers and sister, if you want to call it, for letting her live there rent and lease free. So we'll get a decent combine. But I have to pay for the header. We'll need a seed drill, fertilizer. Oh, I'll need a spreader for fertilizer and lime. Do I really need a weeder? Probably not right away, unless the weeds get really bad in that field. I've been looking for seed drills. Well, with seed drills, it's kind of hard to figure out what kind of seed drill I want. You know, there's a lot of good 3-meter wide ones out there, but it sounds I know it sounds interesting to me at first. I'm like, oh, just get a 3-meter. We'll find a modded one where we can do a whole bunch of things to it. And I'm starting to think, is 3-meter wide just a little bit too small? I mean, at first we only got like a couple fields. It's probably okay. But as we move along here and get more and more fields, you know, I don't want to go big. I don't want to go bigger than 6 meters. So 3 meters seems too small. So I've been finding some seed drills, you know, on the mod hubs or whatever, but just nothing that really is like, yep, that's the one. You know, I can't. Found some interesting ones. I thought I found a really good one. I do have it downloaded, and I can actually show it to you. It's in the shop, and Wayne can get those seed drills. But then I saw the price of them, like, why? Why is that one so expensive? So expensive. Alright, so before I forget, because I tend to do that quite often, so I'll show you something I forget. Let me just get my iPad out, and I'll jump on Wayne's shop here. There we go. It's actually made by the GCM group. So you come in here. So you have your options of a 5-meter wide. So this is all good. 5.8 and 6. But look at the pricing. $150,000 for a 5-meter wide. That seems rather expensive. So to put that in perspective, okay, so I think comparison, we'll take the 5.8 because it's close to 6-meter wide. It does seed and fertilize. So if you come into regular seeders, yeah, now they got the extra category here. It throws off where the seeder's now down here. Okay. So a 6-meter wide, like this one right here. Okay, granted, this one does not, actually I can just go, this one just seeds, but it's 6-meter wide, and it's $76,000. You take the Horse Pronto 9-meter wide, that seeds and fertilizes, it's 9 meters wide for $104,000. So you can see what I'm getting at here. Why is that so expensive? I mean, $200,000? Even $150,000 for the small one at 5-meter wide. The Horse Pronto is basically almost twice the size, and it's still $40,000 cheaper. But I mean, they look really good. I'll give them that. I don't know if this is an actual brand or not. It's not something I really see. I've never seen around where I am, but you can change design from red to blue. I was probably going to stick with red because we got the Case Internationals. But yeah, overall it looks pretty good. Oh, and you can change the design. This, I don't know what this does. Because it does say you can direct drill with this. It doesn't say I need the option. But my guess is that is the option right there. That this will cultivate it before it seeds. So I'm assuming if I go with this model right here, I'll have to cultivate the field. And for $5,000 more, it'll cultivate the field. But the pricing is, I may go in there, and if that's the seed drill I decide to choose, I may go in there and just bring down the price a little bit to be more reasonable. That's one of the seed drills I'm looking at, so I'll have to see if I can strike a deal with Wayne on that. If I don't find another one that catches my eye. Because like I said, 5 meter wide seems probably the right size for us. Oh, and the other mod I also tried today, it was on the Giants mod hub, is the shovel. And yeah, so it's $100. I bought the shovel. I was going to use it for the sheep and also possibly the cows. I was going to, just use a shovel down their to clean up their messes. And yeah, it's a little tedious to use a shovel and clean up some stuff. I didn't even bother. It's not one of those. It's not a hand tool per se. It's not like the chainsaw or what do they call that thing? It's not called the Wopster anymore, is it? This thing. It used to be called the Wopster because that's the guy who engineered it. But it's not one of those things. It's like you actually have to pick it up, kind of like you would a log. So you walk over the shovel and you pick it up like this, and then you have to twist the shovel around like you would to move, rotate things. Yeah, it was getting a little. I was like, oh, okay. I think I just, we got the bucket. I'll just use the bucket. Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. So maybe what I'll do is after we get the road somewhat cleared out, I'm going to have to maybe pick a day, preferably not when it's snowing, but get the drone up in the air and kind of look at the landscape of the land around here a little bit. Just so I'll probably want to put a field in over here. Where's that? Hello. There you are. Well, you want to be cut somewhere. I did have a quick little chat on my Discord channel with the author of this map. And he was asking me how the performance was going. And I said, well, it's going pretty good. And where is it here? So, yeah, I thought I was approaching 2,000 trees. I'm actually at 1,626. So, yeah, he was kind of saying how some people are having problems in FS19 with tree harvesting. And I guess it's causing some issues with some people. I was like, well, I'm not having no issues. And I said, it could be because I'm cutting down the tree stumps. But then I said, well, I was getting close like to 2,000 trees, but I guess we're just, we're at 1,600 and something. But I guess there's over 70,000 trees on this map. It's like, okay, so I got a ways to go then. So we shall make our way. And right now, yeah, I am making this road more than enough wide for us because we're probably going to landscape in here. I know there are some narrow spots on the way down to the sawmill, but since I'm going past here, why not make the road as wide as I need it to be at this point? Because I really thought it was going to take me a while just to get up to the. I thought I was going to get to the corner today in this episode, but we're kind of past the corner. And really, the more trees I cut, the more I bring down to the sawmill. The more cash we bring in. Yes, I do want to put a third field in next spring as well. So if the road goes well, and if I use a drone, I find a decent area. It doesn't need to be flat, but I don't need it to be so steep to where, when I'm going downhill in a harvester, I'm hoping that the clutch and brake assemblies is all good on the harvester, so I don't go free falling all the way down to wherever. And it was kind of nice, even though it was only for a little bit of an afternoon, but putting down the mape and oak trees just to see the leaves change color. So probably by the second day of spring next season, they'll start bringing some leaves out on them. And this road's plenty wide enough. Yeah, so the good news is our 2 solar power plants, cell phone tower, and the scrapyard paying their leasing fees. We'll earn enough cash daily just by property income. That'll help us get the loan down to the $500,000. So let's just shoot for when spring comes that we'll have this road stump free, tree free, ready to do some landscaping and get the road in. The loan down to $500,000. This road be ready, and the little extra cash in our pocket to be able to buy a Seadrill. Now, Seadrill, like I said, we're looking at, yeah, I think we'll be spending somewhere, I would say probably around $70,000 to $80,000 for a Seadrill. I don't want to spend more than that in a Seadrill. I mean, I could lease it in the first season, but then again, we're going to be here for a few seasons, so leasing it, yeah, I just rather buy my equipment. Rather buy it. I know they said you should play seasons on 9 days and run at speed times 15. But man, even at times 5, the day seems to go by kind of quick. I forgot what day I started. What time of day did I start? I know I went to bed at 6 p.m. because it was dark out, and I think I slept 14 hours. I think we got up at 8 or 9, so we started at 9 o'clock. So we only been working a couple hours, but that does mean that, well, it's almost noon. And being winter, it's going to get dark between 5 and 6. So not many hours in the workday. And the one thing is about going down from the corner like we are down to the sawmill, I don't really have any point of reference going this way to know how much further I have to go. Every time I take the road from the corner down to the sawmill, or vice versa from the sawmill up, this road is longer than I think it is. Every time I take it, it's like, okay, this road keeps on going. Keeps on going. It's like, okay, this road's longer than I thought. Oh yeah, so like I was saying, I think I got off track earlier when we started cutting on here. So I do have one business that wants to come in the first day of spring. It's kind of a morning shop, if you will. The other place I have that wants to go in here is a mechanical shop. So yeah, we can get our equipment repaired. Wayne kind of does repairs, but their mechanic is kind of, well, let's just say I'd rather not use that mechanic. There's they do some repairs down at the scrapyard, but they're pretty good mechanics down there. But the problem is they're used to, tearing machinery apart that's going to be scrapped. So they're not very gentle with taking things off. I mean, if there's a bolt that won't come out right away, they'll just like, well, just take, they just grind it off, and they'll use pry bars or whatever they have to get stuff off. So I'd rather not repair anything there. So there's a mechanic shop that does want to come in. I think it's a little bit on the big side. They told me how big of a shop that they want, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Oh yeah, the other expense that we need to do, like I said, maybe this winter, I need to put down a shed because I really have no place to park. The tree harvester, the Volvo truck, the Seadrill really has no place to go. And I probably need a shed. Oh, we're down to the sawmill already. I was not really expecting to get this far today at all. Maybe because I'm used to starting making a road and taking a long time to get somewhere, but since this road's already in, it's rather easy. But yeah, I need a shed that's kind of like seasons ready, so when I put a trailer in there, yeah, I don't need my trailer filling up with snow all the time. Well, who knew on the first morning of winter I would get the road wide enough. Maybe what I need to do is, because we're pretty close to wrapping up this episode because the morning's gone, but maybe what we'll do is I'll turn around for the next episode and we'll kind of head our way back to the farm, and we'll make sure that the road is, I'll make sure it's wide enough, as wide as we need it to be, so we're pretty much done with it. Done cutting down trees, and so I'll just have to go around and pick up the trees, the logs, sell them, do some stump grinding, get that done before any more snow comes. And then, yeah, maybe we'll start clearing out a spot for another field. so we'll be ready to go when the first day of spring comes. Clear a spot for the morning shop, and also clear a spot for the mechanic building that wants to go in. But I am kind of glad there is snow on the ground, because it just gives us a few episodes with, you know, instead of just green everywhere, but it is called Green Mountain Forest. Yeah, it just gives us a little bit of color to the ground. The grass is still rather high, but I know it says I can't do soil work, but can you mow grass in the winter? Does anyone know that? I know it says you can't work the ground, but we're not really working the ground. You're just cutting the grass on top. I've never tried it, to be honest with you, because I just assume, well, it's winter, what, you know. Because really, I wouldn't be able to make hay from it. Would it turn to hay? Hang on a second. Let me just... I'm curious. This is all... I may have to try this. But the grass moisture is at 27, so it would be considered wet grass. I guess the one trial I have to do is grab the Case Puma, just throw the mower on it, and can I cut grass in the winter? Is that considered groundwork? I know one thing, I keep hearing these coyotes around here. Alright, so this is where we're going to park the tree harvester. And beginning of next episode, we'll make our way back where we came from. Because the one thing is, you know, when you're cutting down the trees where you are, it looks wide enough, but then when you turn around and you're actually driving up the road, you can kind of see like, you know what, it's not actually as big as I thought it was. That's the way it kind of was with the road from the shop on down to the sawmill when it first started. It's like, oh, that's wide enough, and then you start using the road, and it's like, okay, it's not really that, it needs to be wider. And it's like, okay, it needs to be wider. I think I did that road like 3 or 4 times, and finally I decided that's good enough. And now I'm making sure, because I learned from the first road, because I want to do landscaping, smooth it out, although this road's not going to, like I said, it's not going to be as bad as that one. I think this one's going to be a little bit smoother. But then again, I might be wrong. And who knows, I may have to plow the road as well. Oh wow, that looks really... Yeah, that looks good. I mean, this is just... I need to turn you off there. That looks nice. Nice and wide, I think. Look better once the logs and the stumps are out of there, but that looks really good. Yeah, also as long as long as it doesn't get too cold, hopefully the diesel engines all fire up. So the one thing, we're going to do a couple things here. I just want to go to our carton factory, and everything looks okay. So the original 70,000 liters of logs we put in here, still going strong. That's piling up there. Like I said, I put some wood chips in here. That is from the wood chipper that we have. The water is fine. Yeah, that's doing fine. I'm getting probably close to being full on paper. Another 1,000 or 1,500 liters of paper, and we're done for. So there's that. If we go tab, tab, tab. We disconnect that. And it's a little slippery out on the road. So all I want to do is I'm going to hook up the mower. Hey, the manure heap is full. Alright, let's unfold that. A lot of you are probably already saying, it won't work, it won't work. And no, it won't. So, yeah, the grass is not being mowed. You think it would be able to, although the snow may... I mean, I can see the problems there. I mean, that there's a reason why you don't mow grass with snow on the ground. But even if the ground was frozen and the grass was on top, it should let you mow the grass. Just my opinion. But I mean, there's only so much you can do here. I mean, this is it's a script. Probably when winter comes, it allows you to do no yard work whatsoever. It was fun to try though. So yeah, winter is here. The road, we have a road. I'm going to park here because being noon, do want to go in and grab some lunch. Let me just go ahead and bring up the animal HUD just to make sure everything is okay. Yeah, everything is fine. The only thing that's in red is cleanliness of the sheep, which doesn't matter because their productivity is still at 100. Hay and silage for the cows does not matter. Neither does the grass, and everything else is in green and blue. So, yep, they're all fine. We do have 940 liters of manure. I mean, yeah, we only got 8 cows. That's going to build up. So maybe if it builds up enough in the springtime, maybe put down a greenhouse. I don't know if that'll be worth it. It could be because it'll take like... If the greenhouse constantly runs for 10 straight days, I think we'll get our money back. Because we are playing on a hard economy. The strawberry patch is something I could put in, but that's a little bit more expensive. But as we see, the strawberries are worth it. So, yeah, unfortunately, like I did test out this sheep pasture when I put it down. And I said, oh, it's not really seasons ready. But actually, I thought when I tested it, I didn't think I got snow inside the pasture when I tested it. So that's interesting. Now that I'm getting snow down there, I don't mind parking things here and getting some snow inside here. I mean, in a way, I could see snow getting in here because look how open this is. If the wind's blowing right to left, that snow would drift in there easily. So not a problem. But yeah, I definitely need to get a shed that's seasons ready to put our trailer and harvester in because those things will accumulate snow. Well, the trailer will. The harvester will not. So I need to keep that in mind. But that's where we're going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Just moseying on down the road that we're making, cutting trees, making it wider. Yeah, next time, who knows what we'll be doing. We'll either be grabbing the logs and cutting this tree stumps, or who knows. But like I said, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you next time on Green Mountain Forest. But until then, have a good one.